Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're just trying to let some more in. Feel free to open up your chat and just let us know where you're coming in from.
Okay, are we good to go?
We are good. We have David from North Carolina. We have some from Nevada.
Hey.
Wonderful.
All right, let us know where you're watching from. I love it. All right. Hello, everyone. I am Joe with Siser North America. Thank you so much, Felicia and Michaels, for having me on again for the very first Zoom class with Siser for 2021. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, Christmas, and New Year. Let's start this big time, right? So that brings us to the beginning of 2021. We're going to have a good time. Keep letting us know where you're watching from. Say hi. Thank you all. If you're watching this later on with the hashtag replay, thank you for checking this video out. You can skim through if you want. But feel free along the way to ask any questions. As Felicia said, hop on that chat. Make sure that it is to everyone. Felicia will cut me off as I'm going along and make sure that your questions get answered to the best of our ability. So today, it's new too for a lot of people that, well, first off, you guys know the drill. If you've been to my classes, the first lesson of the day is how to properly pronounce Siser. So yes, that's right. And you're probably seeing this backwards. So a lot of this video is going to be backwards. I apologize. But Siser is pronounced Siser. So congratulations on the first lesson. Right on. So what we're doing today, Michael's wanted it is National Tech Day. So that's what, for those that have been to my classes in the past, you know they usually fall on a Friday. So this is a first for me in the middle of the week. I've lost track of what day it is as it is. So, you know, it could be Friday for all I know. So we are doing National Tech Day. There's a little history to it. I don't really know it, but it started back in like the 1800s. So they've stuck to it on January 6th. So it brings us to what we're talking about today, because technology is absolutely rampant. Look at what we're doing right now. You know, we've had to change our lives, especially in the last year, and technology has totally been in the forefront. So there's all sorts of things you can decorate using technology, or decorate your things that are technology based. I've seen a lot of people wrap their laptops. I've seen a lot of people decorate their silhouettes, their Cricuts, all sorts of fun stuff. So what I'm going to do today, because most of my classes, as you probably have seen in the past, what I use in my classes, you can get at Michael's. So everything I show you is available at Michael's. Again, I work with Siser North America, so the products that I talk about, the materials I use is what my company manufactures. My big thing is all about education on the product. So if the craft that I'm doing is a little underwhelming, I apologize. I'm not as talented as most of you out there, but I do know about the products that we make. So that is what I want you to mostly walk away with, is a little bit more knowledge about what the Siser products are about that are available in the Michael's stores. So again, any questions along the way, feel free to leave them. So what I'm going to be doing today, because I was really kind of torn on what I can do that's technical based, and I had a little help from Michael's when they suggested that I decorate one of these awesome 4-tiered rolling carts that you probably have seen in my previous classes. And as you can tell, I already got started. So I have a handful of them. Yeah, that's right. You're down in my basement right now too, in Michigan. So yeah, this is where most of these Zoom take place. So I'm loaded with some of these 4-tier roller carts, and I thought it was going to be a great idea because I'm also a quite organized person. So if we flip over to the second camera here, I'll show you this disheveled surface I have before me. Look at all this mess, right? So I got my vinyl cutter, I have my blanks, I have some Siser material, I have the awesome Siser Craft heat press. So what I'm going to do is decorate this. As you can tell, I already got started. So this 4-tiered rolling cart that I have before me, super convenient. Like I said, it's held up a lot of stuff that I've used. But what's cool about it is each one of these shelves are removable. So that's what we're gonna do is take those out. I'm gonna decorate it. I already got started. So what I'm using today is Siser Easy PSV glitter. So that's what I have before me. This is our pressure sensitive glitter. For those that still don't know what Easy PSV or PSV stands for, is pressure sensitive glitter. So I had 4 colors that I'm using today out of our glitter line, which is a new addition to Michael's Easy PSV line. So if you ever want to check that out. So the glitter is a permanent adhesive. So this is very important for you to kind of understand that depending on what you're applying to. So since I'm going on this cart onto the shelving itself, I don't mind it going directly onto the shelf or onto the boards because I don't plan on really pulling it off. If you wanted something that you may be able to peel off, we have an option called removable, but it doesn't come in a glitter option. And I know it's kind of difficult to tell in an ill-lit basement, but it does definitely have the glitter finish. I hope you can kind of see some of the sparkles on it. They are embedded inside. So for those that are familiar with our glitter heat transfer vinyl, the stuff that goes onto garments, that has more of that rougher surface. This decal vinyl, the Easy PSV, is a smooth surface, but it is a permanent adhesive to go on there. So if you also didn't want it to be permanent, but you also wanted to use the glitter, a trick you can do, and something I can do in another class in the future, is showing how you can use removable Easy PSV as an underbase and then layer the glitter Easy PSV directly on top of the removable. So that way you have a 2-color or possibly 3-color, however many you want. And as long as that bottom layer is removable Easy PSV, essentially remove the entire design over time. Will you be able to remove a permanent adhesive? Yes. But is it going to be a pain? Is it going to take a lot of time? Absolutely. So if you want to avoid any of that in the future, I would definitely really think about what surface you're going on. So again, these carts, really easy to put together, 4-tiered. Like I said, all you have to do is pop out these shelves, and obviously there's nothing there. They just kind of set right onto the card itself. They technically could be 2 sides. Obviously you have the already pre-colored sides. So most of these are white. Some of them are mint green, I believe Michael's offers. But on the other side of the board, it's just the flat wood. So even if you wanted to use the wood as that, you could essentially use either side, and that means that you could decorate either side. Another thing is since these all pop out, you could essentially move them any way you want. So if I decorated this, as you can see, I have this already labeled with the glitter Easy PSV. And you're seeing this backwards, I believe, if you're seeing it the right way. Is everyone seeing it correctly? Yes? Yeah, okay, sweet. Because I'm looking at it as backwards. So it should say vinyl cutter. So if you wanted this to be the top, again, I had it here. All you have to do is move it up to the top if you want to set your vinyl cutter. It's entirely up to you. So that's what's really kind of interchangeable. Super awesome about these carts. Obviously, you can lock it in place if you want and didn't want to move around too much. And then they just kind of sit there. So what I'm going to do for the lesson, I already got started with that. I'm going to show you, first I'll take you through going through an application. Or I'm sorry, I'll go through the masking first. Okay. So I didn't mask my hyacinth. So that's the name of this color here. So it's kind of a purpley, well, it's hyacinth, right? So very important too when it comes to easy PSV. Again, for those that use the Siser heat transfer vinyl, you know in most cases you're cutting on your vinyl cutter in reverse. With easy PSV, you're not cutting in reverse. The only time you would cut easy PSV in reverse is if you were actually putting the color on the inside of a window. So say you were going on your car, but you didn't want it directly on the outside of the window. To protect it, you want to put it on the inside. And that would entail you to reverse it, right? Because you would be mirroring it and then setting on the inside. So when you look at the outside, you're reading it correctly. I hope that makes sense. Out of all the products, except the one I'm showing you today, you can do that. Unfortunately, with glitter, the adhesive side does not look like the front. So I'll show you kind of real quickly here on the one I already have masked, but on the red, well, this isn't a prime example. Some of them work. Yeah. So on the hyacinth, oh, we can see here. On the hyacinth, as you can see, the most of the adhesive on our glitter easy PSV is actually kind of silver colored. So you're not going to be able to do it inside out or reversed and look at it the right way. You're going to lose the glitter side to it. But any of our permanent or removable, you can do that same thing where you flip it inside out or reverse it when you cut it and then put it on the inside. That will protect the longevity slightly on some of those substrates, such as a car window or an office window or things like that. Any questions on that? All right. So I already have this cut. If you are ever looking for recommended cut settings for any of our products, you can always check out our website. It's just CaesarNA.com. In there, we have all different kind of recommended cut settings for our products. Again, they are just ballpark ideas of cutters. Now, you have to make sure that your vinyl cutter is up to snuff with making sure your maintenance is right, making sure your blade is in good condition, your cutting strip is in good condition, and then you want to make sure you do test cut. Now, with our adhesive, and you probably are very familiar with it with any other kind of decal vinyl, it does have the paper backing liner. So if you cut too deep and you have any kind of lifting with the paper, that is a big indicator that you cut it too deep. So what's great about our easy PSV line is you don't need to go over your downforce on it. So make sure you do test cut, make sure you have a good cut first. Another important thing about the glitter, again, with permanence, I know I just weeded that outside, but an important thing is to make sure when you weed that excess like that, that it doesn't touch on top of the main surface, because if it gets stuck on there, it could have a problem lifting up. Again, it is a permanent adhesive. All right. Okay, and then now with our easy PSV, we also have our application tape. Now we only have one style of application tape. This is a medium tack application tape that will work with any of our easy PSV. It is a medium tack, so it's not overly abrasive if you do put it on a drywall surface or a painted surface. It will work on most any surfaces. We haven't really had any kind of issues on it. You do want to make sure you store all your products in a climate controlled area. That's even including your heat transfer vinyl. Because if you let it sit in the heat, it will have a problem bonding. Try to avoid touching the adhesive side to the masking tape, because this will cause it to kind of contaminate it, and it will be less aggressive. Now, with our application tape, it does have gridded lines on it, which is going to be perfect for what I am doing today. So what I'm going to do is I always line it up at the edge of my table, and I kind of start in the center and roll it out to the side. Now you could do it a million different ways. I just eyeball it that way and kind of roll it out to the side. You could start from one side and roll it across. Now the gridded end of it is going to be very helpful for how I'm going to do this application. So what I did there, I'm flipping it upside down. I'm using a squeegee. I'm going to create the bond. I like to do it this way so I don't have any kind of obstruction, or I'm not too abrasive on the surface of the glitter. You want to apply some decent pressure. And you don't want to peel it right away, because I do this because I want to make sure that I did get it properly bonded to the mask. But don't take this paper backing off yet. We still need to use this for our next step. So I'm going to cut the excess material off, or excess application tape rather. Any questions so far?
There's not any questions so far, but there is one wanting to know where exactly you got your cart from.
I got it from the Michaels people. Yeah. I think Felicia could probably hook you up with a link if you'd like. They're pretty awesome. I got to tell you, I've been using them for the past year. So, all right. Now, we have our two designs ready. They're masked. What I'm going to show you today is another form of application with the Easy PSV or decal vinyl. Now, right before the holiday break, I did a couple projects from Michael's, these Zoom classes where I used our Etch Easy PSV, and I decorated holiday ornaments. And I used a method called the relief cut method. Now, if you ever want to see any of these classes, they are hosted up on the Michaels page. Again, we have a ton of stuff at Siser North America. If you look us up on YouTube, we have a ton of helpful tutorials. What I'm going to show you today is what is called the Hinge Method. So it's another form of application. So with this case, you could do it eyeballing it 100%, lay it down how you want, apply it. You're probably way better at that than I am, but I'm going to show you this because I am a little OCD about making sure my lineup is correct. And again, this is permanent adhesive. So if I didn't have this paper backing on there and I set it on and it was slightly crooked, you're not going to get it back off. So what I'm going to do today, firstly, to prep it, make sure whenever any of your surfaces are as clean as it can possibly be, you can use the isopropyl alcohol, like 70% of that and the 30% with water. And that will be a proper mix to use on a surface if you have any kind of grime or grease or anything you need to clean up. Just use that mixture, clean that up, use water to kind of wipe it off, and then wait about 10 minutes to let it fully dry, and then come back to it. Now, obviously fresh out of the box is pretty clean, but just give it a good wipe down. That's all I used today was some water. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some painter's tape. Now, if you don't have painter's tape, you can use masking tape. You can even use the application that I cut of the application mask to kind of place this transfer down in where I want it to be. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take a piece of cut or painter's tape, and I'm just going to kind of go down the center. Like I said, this is a gridded application mask, so it's easy for me to find the center. It's easy for me to kind of get where I need to go. If you want to kind of bend it where it can to make sure it lines up correctly, you can do that. Try not to crease the design itself. And then you can kind of eyeball it. Again, using the grids to your advantage there. And then once you kind of have your spot where you think you're comfortable, I'm just going to lay the painter's tape and actually bond it onto the shelf. So now I don't need to move it, but as you can tell, I can lift one side. This is what is called the hinge method, and the other side. So what I'm going to do here, you're also going to need a pair of scissors, or you can rip it. What I'm going to do is peel from one side from the paper backing. Then you're going to take it up to where the painter's tape is at. And then you're going to take your scissors and cut that paper backing, but hold the one side back. Try not to let it kind of flop back over. And I'm left-handed, so this is all backwards for me. All right. So now this is garbage. Now what we can do is roll our one side across as smooth as possible. Just roll it across onto the shelf. Now it's on there. You're really not going to be able to move that now, because once that adhesive hits onto that surface, it sticks pretty good. But I'm confident on how we place that. So all we have to do now is loosen up the painter's tape and lift the other side and just peel the paper backing off the other side and do the same thing. Now just don't let the painter's tape indicate where it falls. But we're gonna roll that. You can peel the painter's tape off and use it for the next one if you want. Now you want to make sure you still take a squeegee and create the bond. If you ever have a surface where you may have a little bit of an issue of it actually adhering to right away when you go to try to peel it off, let it sit. Now, if I went to try to peel this up and it was kind of popping off, and maybe that surface was not allowing it to adhere right away, let it sit on that surface for a little bit of time and then go back to it. So I'm just going to pull this against itself. There you go. And you can absolutely still use this application mask if you'd like. But the more you use it, like I said, the more we're touching that adhesive, the more we're contaminating the adhesive itself. So it might not be as aggressive the next time. So I'm just forewarning you. But if you do, you can definitely try to use it again if you have other projects for it. So that's one. That's the hinge method. I'm going to do another one for you. But if anyone has any questions, please feel free. Pop this bottom one out. Okay. We're going to do the same thing as before. I'm just going to find my center placement. We're about good there. And I'm going to use the same painter's tape. I mean, painter's tape's kind of the same way, where if you use it more than once, sometimes the adhesive itself kind of gets weakened. All right, so we're gonna start. Should probably actually start on the left side, right? Since I'm left-handed. Simply cut the paper off. Again, that is garbage now. And then all I'm gonna do is roll my one side down. And I can pull that back. Pull it down. That off. Squeegee it, create the bond. There you go. Now the fun part. Let's fill in the blanks on this shelf here. Try to angle that so we can, just to show you again, this can be absolutely interchangeable however you'd like. You don't like the blanks at the bottom, switch it up however you'd like. Okay. All right, so there you go. Heat press, vinyl cutter, HTV, heat transfer vinyl, and easy PSV, and blanks. So we'll start. This is where my OCD is like, yes, I love this. Put my blank garments down there, whatever you have. I have my easy PSV sheets that I had. Lay those out. Either lay them this way, and then take my rolls of the Siser HTV, lay them down on here. On my vinyl cutter, classic silhouette. Place that right on here. And then be careful with this one. Use two people if you can, but the brand new Siser Craft heat press sets right on top. Lift that up. See that glorious masterpiece. And then, of course, the classic home iron for those still rocking that. So there is a full, where am I going? All right. The full shelf accessory, all organized and labeled. So for anybody that is messing in your craft area, you tell them where to put the stuff back because it's properly labeled, right? That's that. It's glorious. Okay. So, any questions? We'll switch over. Look it. It's going to be here proudly. Does anyone have questions? What font did I use? What font did I use? It was oh, that's a good question. I don't remember. It was a random one. I think I found in my repertoire of fonts. I'll try to look it up. I forgot. I apologize. Good question. The video is upside down. Yes, I apologize for that. Again, the way I'm filming it right now with two cameras, I have my cell phone in the laptop camera. It looks reversed. It probably looks backwards. That's why I just want to make sure you guys know that it isn't. If you can read everything on this screen correctly, I promise you it looks right on this side. Yes, until someone gives you the heat press is around. I'm going to use my home iron. I still use it all the time. So yeah, that was a project I have for you today. Any new colors for glitter? Which glitter though? The heat transfer vinyl? For the easy PSV glitter though, Michaels has 15 colors. So if you check out on their website, you can see all the different colors of easy PSV glitter. Just type in the search, just type in Siser easy PSV glitter, and you can see all the 15 colors that they have. These were just 4 of them. Again, so for heat transfer vinyl, they have a ton of colors on there. I don't know off the top of my head. Glitter is one of our biggest catalogs for us personally outside of EasyWeed. So we haven't launched any new glitter colors in a little bit, but if you follow us on Siser North America, you see the new colors we have coming up in the next couple of weeks. So make sure if you're not, follow our Facebook, Siser North America, and in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see some brand new launches from us at Siser. Again, a ton of brand new awesome stuff is always being added at Michaels. You can check out all the things that Michaels has that Siser offers right on their website. Everything I showed you in this video, everything I just put on this cart, including the cart, is available at Michaels. So if there's any kind of way or any help we can give you with the usage of the product, feel free to reach out to us anytime. We're more than happy to help you. I think we have I think you're spot on with the 56 colors, Sally. Right on. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in on the class. I do appreciate everyone taking the time. Again, you can always watch the replay in case you came in later. If you wanted to go back to see anything that's happened, we have a ton of video content on the Michael's YouTube channel, as well as our own channel. If you look up Siser North America on YouTube, we'd love for everyone to subscribe. Again, we're just a manufacturer, so we're here to help you with any questions you have regarding Siser product. If you're trying to get your hands on any of it, you can always go to Michael's. They're an awesome partner of ours. They carry all sorts of stuff that you can decorate. Obviously, for the craft world, it's awesome. And then I can't thank you all enough for tuning in for this class. We're going to be back very soon, and I look forward to seeing you all again. And thank you, Michael's, for having me on for one more class. First one, 2020-21. I said that. So yeah, thank you. And I'll talk to you all very soon. You have a good day.